One of the reasons I enjoy touring is discovering new places, and on a motorcycle, I believe you experience so much more than if you're traveling in a car or a truck. Riding a motorcycle is tactile, you're exposed to the elements, and you can literally smell the towns, fields, and streams, and feel the road and weather. Today, I'm taking a break from wrenching to talk to you about two motorcycle highways I think are just excellent, and I highly recommend you ride. The first I can call local, and is in part the reason I live where I do. It's the Sea to Sky Highway north of Vancouver, Canada. This highway has amazing scenery once you leave West Vancouver all the way to the world-renowned Whistler Blackcomb. Whistler, for short, is known for its skiing and was co-host to the city of Vancouver during the 2010 Winter Olympics. During the summer, Whistler doesn't shut down. It hosts a number of outdoor events and is known for 5-star hotels and expensive dining options. Traveling to Whistler Blackcomb can be a bit of a bargain between April and June or in September and October. This, however, is not the section of road we're looking at today. Today I'm going to show you where the road leads after Whistler when riding north. Once you're free from the tourist traffic in Whistler, the road gets less refined and you lose the 4-lane highway and shoulders for 2-lane mountain asphalt. By the time you reach the town of Pemberton, you may want to check your fuel since the next station is 100 kilometers or 60 miles or so over steep, twisty terrain the locals call the Duffey Lake Road. The Duffey is what I wanted to showcase. This road that traverses a valley running between more than 24 mountain peaks and is breathtaking both in scenic wonder and the downright scary-ass conditions of the road. If you're traveling in early spring, it's not uncommon to see large boulders, trees, or even sinkholes in the middle of your lane just around the next corner. It's worth noting that in 2020, 3 motorcyclists lost their lives on this section of road, and in 2021, 5 people were killed in their automobiles in a late fall mudslide. Now, I'm not going to say that tragedy is common, but there is a sort of fatal attraction, at least for me, on this particular road. The other phenomenon I haven't overcome when riding the Duffey is the technical difficulties I experience, both in my gear and my riding. But this only happens when I'm trying to film. For a number of years now, when I attempt to film my ride on the Duffey, the video just doesn't come together as I expected, and I will run into traffic at the worst possible time, or blow a corner apex when I want to show off, or just wind up riding into the sun with nothing but a big light flare to show for it. Although I ride the Duffey about a half dozen times a season, the day I take my camera out, it usually results in personal disappointment. Now, I've had to piece together these shots from multiple trips since I've not had one successful ride from a filming perspective, well, ever. That, however, should not dissuade you from coming up to the Pacific Lower Mainland of Canada and riding the Sea to Sky Highway all the way over the Duffey Lake Road. On the other side of the Duffey, you come down off the Cayush Point to a town called Lillooet, which is named after the indigenous people who live there. Lillooet is primarily the focus of forestry and mining now, as it sits beside the mighty Fraser River, which is a direct route back to the coast and the Port of Vancouver. Once you leave Lillooet, you have a choice to continue north to the BC interior or head south like I'm doing today over Highway 12 and its challenging corners along the Fraser River.
Just wanna ride on my motorcycle. I don't wanna tickle, 'cause I'd rather ride on my motorcycle.
Highway 12 ends in the community of Lytton, which was devastated by wildfire in 2021, just a few weeks after this particular video was taken. After leaving Lytton, now you're on the Trans-Canada, a single route highway that spans from the Atlantic to the Pacific across Canada. On this route, you'll ride through Boston Bar, the Ferriby Tunnels, and Hell's Gate. Now, if you're into river rafting, this is probably a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to ride the Fraser River right here at Hell's Gate. At the end of the highway is the town of Hope. Now, Hope and its surrounding area was the backdrop for the original Rambo movie, the town where Sly Stallone gets arrested and is the catalyst for all the ensuing gunplay and violence that made Stallone the multifaceted actor that we have come to know today.
Morning! Headed north or south?
What about me? Your worst nightmare.
Once in Hope, you can take a roughly 2-hour ride back to Vancouver and check out Stanley Park, or you can keep heading south through BC's Wine District to the starting point of my next recommended motorcycle highway. Last year, I managed some time to ride down south, but to get there, I had a great time on BC's Southern Highway number 3 through the Sunshine Valley, Princeton, and Osoyoos. Depending on your response to this video, I'll probably feature that road on an upcoming segment. I crossed the border in Osoyoos and spent the night an hour or so into the state at Omak, Washington. Here is where we pick up the trail after a night's rest and early morning refuel to continue on Washington State's Highway 20. This highway is Washington's longest at a little over 436 miles. Highway 20 is also known as the North Cascades Highway as it winds through the North Cascades National Park, and that is what you really want to see when you're on Highway 20. But before you get there, you have to ride through some beautiful high desert orchards and some really well-paved and maintained curved roads. You'll also ride through some small communities like Twist and Winthrop. Winthrop is the last stop for gas before the national park, and the next stop is 60 miles from there in Marble Mount. I didn't refuel in Winthrop, and I did experience some range anxiety on my VFR 1200 with its modest 18-liter fuel tank. So if in doubt, be sure to grab gas at Winthrop before you ride into the park. Now, you can make decent time on these roads as they're smooth and in excellent condition, but be sure to fully enjoy the corners in this section since the road will get more challenging as you progress through to the park. On that note, you should be sure to ride at a speed that's a little below your comfort level and ability. On a new highway, a highway you haven't ridden before, or one you haven't ridden for a couple of weeks in particular, just take your time and enjoy the experience. Now, you want to be sure to make it to the next road trip and have fun doing it on this one. The whole point of this trip, for me, was to make it here by the Washington Pass observation point. You'll want to stop since there are some crazy photo opportunities here, and the views are what the trip is all about. Take it all in, look back at the road you came down, or the road that's ahead if you're going east. The rest of the road to the Pacific Coast was a lot of fun with the odd bit of road construction. Now, unlike the Duffey, Washington State's Highway 20 is well maintained, so although an inconvenience, the 3 or so stops for road construction in the Cascades National Park gave me even more time to really appreciate the trip. If you enjoyed this scenic run through the Cascades National Park and over the Duffey Lake Road in British Columbia, be sure to let me know by giving this video a thumbs up and commenting below if you'd like to see more of this content in the future on the channel, or perhaps not. And if you have a favorite road of your own, let everybody know about it in the comment section. If this is your first visit to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button since it's free and will help you find more videos for you and your bike. All this helps me out, and I read every comment on my videos and try to respond to everyone who asks a question that I can help out with. Like most of you, I'm planning my next trip, so I'll see you out on the road, and until next time, be sure to ride safe.